Hi Pisces, I hope you guys are enjoying your birthday season. Welcome to your deep love read for mid-March. So we're going to be doing complicated as well as singles. I'm going to start with singles though. I'll timestamp for the complicated in the description box below. And you're also going to find in the description box a 20% off coupon for all my readings for the month of March to celebrate my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support, your subscribes, likes, shares, all that stuff. Let's get into it. Our Pisces single. So we're going to do a past, present, challenge, and final outcome. We'll pull a bunch of oracles for support. We have the Sun in reverse and the recent past coming into this energy. Just so you know, there's no negative about the Sun. Whenever the Sun is on the table, it's always good, even in the reverse. It just indicates a little bit of a delay in something. Okay, let's see. Pull across. All right, so let's get right into this. So, yeah, the Sun reverse, I mean, that's all that means. It's delay, some sort of delayed gratification. Now, some of you maybe feel like you're literally in the space of waiting for happiness, waiting in this space for things to feel better. You know, and the other side of that obviously could be that maybe you're feeling kind of sad, a little depressed about some kind of situation having to do with either the fact that you're single or with a relationship that maybe did not work out for you in the past. You know, just maybe the whole vibe of relationship, you know, maybe making you feel a little sad here. We have the Queen of Cups, and this is a beautiful Gemini and Cancer energy. You know, it does indicate that, you know, you're loving and giving. It's like you make the world a better place with your, you know, your very sweet disposition. This is also a very intuitive energy. It really is. It indicates a high emotional intelligence, not afraid of intimacy. It does indicate falling in love, emotional honesty about what's really needed to make something work. So I feel like, you know, to have that with the Sun, that you could have been in this space where you were realizing that you're this open soul, right? And you're this open soul who just wants to like fall in love, be loving, be giving, have that emotional connection, realizing at the same time though what it is that you want, need, and desire in relationship. Because a lot of us, just as the collective right now, the energies that have been going on really since the fall especially, we're realizing things about ourselves within our relationships in general, in a more clear way, with greater clarity. Even though it's your season right now, and even though you guys are ruled by Neptune and things are a little smoke and mirrors in this particular season, there is this sort of evolution of clarity, just as a collective, recognizing what we all need in relationship, and an element of honesty about that, which is really quite beautiful. Now we have the Wheel that's in the past. Now some of you psychologically may be in that space of you know, still sort of holding on to something or someone from your past. So I know a lot of you are like, hell no. Sometimes we do this so we don't even realize it, you know? That's the thing here. Because this does indicate like an ex coming back, you know, an ex-interest or an ex-partner from the past, but you being in that space of figuring out, oh, I don't know, you know, I'm remembering that last go around. I'm not sure if we have good enough bones to actually make it work. If so, great. If not, not so great. But feeling like this very faded energy. So a lot of you may have even been experiencing a lot of heavy intuition, a lot of dreams, a lot of signs, right? A lot of signs from the universe that was actually making you feel like you were in a very faded time period. Like you were fated to be with somebody in the past that it didn't work out, but you're like, wait a minute, I know I'm supposed to be with them. It's kind of like that kind of energy. But you hitting some sort of turning point though in the process of all of this, right? Definitely. So a lot of you may have been reaching out to people from your past, hearing from people from your past, or just dealing with a lot of past stuff, right? Really kind of trying to work through it. Because again, the Wheel comes back around. It does come back around. and some of you maybe, again, from a psychological perspective, where you might have been kind of feeling very sad about the state of affairs of your relationship. And for a lot of you, you were working through your past. Maybe there was somebody from your past that you really wanted that deep commitment from. Because the Hierophant is one of the marriage cards. It means more than that, but that certainly is one of the understandings of it. So I have to put that out there. But also, in numerology, this is the temperance energy, and the temperance is about compromise. So a lot of you may be in this space where, thinking about, is there a way that something that you were in your past there could have been compromise made, right? Where your needs met, their needs were met, so that the situation can work. What does all of that mean? That will resonate for some of you. Others of you, this does mean that idea of emotional commitment, of connection, but also of expectation and conformity. What's expected in a relationship. So you being in this space, I feel like, of asking those big questions. Is this person that, maybe that you were with in the past, were they even capable of stepping up to the plate to meet the expectations of what it means to be in a healthy relationship? And just kind of working through a lot of this. That's going to resonate with a lot of you. Others of you, I do feel like you were possibly in a very sort of trepidatious situation with somebody from your past, but maybe you guys were married, because again, the Hierophant, you wanted to get married, or maybe you were married, right? And now you're not. But we have the Six of Cups energy is right now. And it's interesting because sometimes these messages come up, and I try to read as many comments as I can, and I do try to respond or at least acknowledge. And I feel like for a really pretty significant run, there was a lot of energy that was indicating that Pisces were getting back, or at least thinking about getting back with somebody from their past. And I always laugh, like a lot of the Pisces are like, hell no, woman, like no past, right? No past. And so obviously, these are general messages, right? So we can't, maybe it doesn't resonate with you, but it means a little more than that. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's a layer to consider. When we're talking about tarot, a lot of times we are talking about our psychology as well, right? And it's sort of the weather of what's going on here. So the Six of Cups tells me right now, you're feeling rather nostalgic on some level, having to do with something or someone from your past. Now, this can mean just feeling like thinking back to the days where things felt more innocent for you, and you would think about yourself in relationship, and you were like, yeah, I could see myself in that kind of relationship. And you realizing, like, I don't know, is that even possible for me to have right now? But a lot of you are going to be having this sort of reconnection with somebody from your past. Now, whether it's a past interest or whether it's just a lot of old friends and maybe you start looking at an old friend differently, it could mean a various amount of things. So if it's like with an ex-narcissist, wouldn't recommend it. Sit that energy out, right, if that presents itself. But what's nice here is if you have suffered any sort of mistreatment, things can be remedied in this energy. We have the beautiful Eight of Wands to clarify that. This is really good information coming in, good news coming in, great news about love, especially if you've been separated. So, again, you're single now, but you may be hearing from somebody, especially if you've been feeling very held back. So you're like unwantingly single. You know what I mean? Like something didn't work out. You guys broke up. You're single now. You're feeling nostalgic. It does seem like that energy is coming back around. And with this Eight of Wands, it's wherever you've been feeling held back within this connection, there's going to be this forward movement, right? Like some sort of decision or communication that you've been waiting on. And that's going to help incite growth. But then we have your ruler. Right? The Hangman. So Hangman, interesting energy to get for a singles read, because especially for those of you who are maybe communicating with people online. So two things could be going on at once, by the way. You could be missing somebody from the past, thinking about getting back with somebody, while you're also communicating with some new people. So let me explain to you. The Hangman can mean a couple of things. One, it's just pressing the pause button in relationship in general, just so that you can be reflective and gain some wisdom from some sort of new perspective. and really think about everything that you've gone through with a particular individual. Okay? It can also mean you waiting for someone to acknowledge that they feel the same way about you that you do about them, but you trying to figure out if it's worth waiting, and if being with that person might not mean you having to sacrifice something that you really want, need, and desire in relationship, And so it's like, okay, if I have to be with that person, then, we're going to have this type of relationship, but I'm not sure if that's really what I want, or something about the relationship would make you need to accept something that maybe you're not completely comfortable with accepting, or any version of that. Or Pisces, this could also be you being the one where someone is waiting for you to acknowledge that you feel the same way about them, but you may be the one who's in a space of like, I don't know if I'm ready for it, and you're just trying to figure things out. So it's interesting because I think a couple of things could be going on at once here. Missing somebody from your past, speaking to somebody new, somebody kind of waiting to get the feelers out to see what's going on with you. But you may not be totally finished with this energy from the past, even if you know that relationship reached its expiration date. That doesn't mean that you're totally over it, or that you have, you know what I'm saying? Not that you should sit home, but I can understand the element of still having one foot in the past, one foot in the future, kind of energy. Right? And so we have this confusion energy with the Hangman, and then we have that clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So some of you just may be like, look, I just want to do some really good work on myself right now, and I want to focus on me and my accomplishments and things that I like to do alone, independent endeavors, you know what I mean? But it's being in this space, though, also of finally meeting a healthy connection after doing some really solid work on yourself, because 9 is the number of productivity, and that's the number that we love to get when we're really looking to integrate our body, mind, and spirit and really elevate ourselves to that next healthy level. So I like it. What I like about this is I don't feel like you're being very rash about anything. You're taking things slow from a psychological point of view. You're doing a lot of really beautiful looking at yourself in a way it's just very healthy. I get very healthy here, which is really nice. Now let's take a look at your blocks, because at the same time, and I'm not surprised that you got the Empress Reverse as one of your challenges, because it's a very interesting time of year for Pisces, right? Because it's your birthday season, it's the solar return, it's a beautiful time of year for you. But at the same time, it can be a time of year, because of the heightened Neptunian influence, where things can be rather confusing. And with the Empress Reverse, this is what happens here, right? The Empress Reverse can sort of kind of get in our way. So it's like this something is getting in the way of being able to move forward and grow, right? Because it's like this idea of fertility and growth. Because remember, Empress is Venus. It's also all about growth. So in the reverse, it's like this inability to really move forward and push forward in a particular way. Maybe because you're not ready in more ways than you even realize, right? I mean, this could be going on here for sure. Now, others of you you are maybe in a position where you're very dependent on somebody or something, right? Even from an emotional perspective, and you're having a really hard time sort of breaking out and just being on your own here, right? It can manifest a couple of different ways. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want to get out there and date, you want to do, but maybe you have this dependence, depending on how old you are, maybe on your parents still, and you had to maybe move back in with them because of the COVID mess, and maybe you lost your job, whatever. It could manifest a bunch of different ways, but you feeling this stuckness and being able to move forward. So another challenge for you here is the Seven of Swords energy. So the Seven of Swords is the challenge here for you is making amends with somebody from your past in a way that you can just kind of neatly say, all right, goodbye, you're part of my past. Some of you are going to resonate with it like that. Others of you are challenged in the fact that maybe you were called out on something, and this is going to resonate with a few of you, or maybe you were in something and somebody sort of called you to the carpet, or you got caught and they wanted to have a conversation about this thing that came to light, and you feeling super uncomfortable with it. You're just not feeling comfortable with whatever it is that they brought out, or are looking to highlight. So it's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you, the challenge here could be a lot of commitment issue. I mean, because the Seven of Swords is this idea of running away, and really being very focused on self. So right now, maybe you just really want to do you and be you, and that's it. And that's part of the reason why you're not growing, because you just really want to focus on yourself right now. And to get this with the High Priestess energy in reverse as well. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, again, there are these blocks here, because this is about clouded insight and having blocked intuition. But I feel like it's more because, from an emotional point, you have a lot going on right now this year, particularly in your solar return. We just have so much crazy energy going on in the sky that you may be kind of blocked in what it is you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to handle something, literally, as far as moving forward. But you do know that there's something, Eight of Swords, very interesting energy to get as the challenge here, right? Because on the one hand, you're looking to release. You're looking for this new hope. You're looking to feel free in your soul, right? That's on the one hand. But on the other hand, it's almost like you almost feel sort of trapped within yourself right now, even though you're doing good work. I hope this is making sense. It's making sense to me. It's like I see you guys looking at yourselves doing some good work. Now, I don't know, maybe some of you are protective of yourself. Our psyche is very, very interesting. Sometimes it will either feed us some false narratives, really not on purpose, right? It's not like that, in order to help us feel better, but maybe the truth and the reality of a situation is kind of gnawing away at you, and you're feeling very blocked with how to handle that. But anyway, the Eight of Swords is about this idea of self-imposed entrapment, right? So then this could be just within your own mind, having to do with relationship or somebody from the past, and it's bothering you, and it's almost like until you deal with that energetic block, it's going to be very hard for you to move forward freely. Or some of you just may be in a space of really learning how to be 100% comfortable in your own skin and your own choices, and that's it, But it does seem like there is this element of block in your ability to grow, right? And then is the final outcome energy here. This is for mid-month. We have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So this indicates to me feeling a lack of support. Like you just don't feel like you're very supported when it comes to this idea of relationship. Eight of Pentacles. 8 is the number of mastery. Okay. So and with the Eight of Pentacles, to me this is like a focus on figuring out again what you even want from relationship. But this needs to be done very logically, very diligently, right? As you work on what it is that you want from a mental, physical, and emotional connection. But you being able to put a lot of focus on here. This is Sun and Virgo energy. So I do like that. Because you know what I'm feeling too? I mean, like kind of as an overall theme here is you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your time in anything that's not going to be supportive in the way that you need. We have the Knight of Swords, and then we have that clarified by the Six of Pentacles. So the Knight of Swords energy is a very expect the unexpected, roller coaster energy, right? Highs and lows, sudden truths coming out, underlying conflicts being exposed. This could be either confusing for some of you or a big relief to others of you. It depends on what's going on. But whatever, this is a very sort of wow kind of energy. It's very, I would say volatile. It doesn't have to be. It can be. Like if you're dealing with this kind of person, maybe somebody is coming back from the past, and this person is very, very driven, very forthright with their words, right? They believe what they believe. This is an energy that you feel intuitively. When they get bored very easily, they create a lot of drama and then just leave the mess, and they don't take any responsibility for what's going on. So that can be an energy that you're dealing with for sure, or just an energy that's involved in this. But it is about expecting unexpected things coming to light. Lots of things coming to light. And then we have that being clarified by the Six of Pentacles, which I like this energy because this is about Just kind of like, I have your back, you have mine, you know. But this could also indicate somebody from your past coming in and offering you some support right now. You know, just like a shoulder to lean on, or just some general help if you're in a space where you are maybe needing help right now in your life. Whether it's emotional support, maybe it's even financial. It could just be, you know, somebody being there for you. This could be going on as well, for sure. This could also indicate like inheritance. I do want to say that. Some sort of financial situation going on with family property or something like that. So very, very mixed energies there as far as that end goes. So let's pull. We have 9 of Cups, which is about wish fulfillment. 2 of Cups, really good conversation coming in. Also, 2 of Cups is, I love this energy because this does indicate a new cycle of passion. For those of you who are not attached, so we have wish fulfillment, new attachment. For those of you who are getting back with somebody from the past, it can indicate harmony returning to the relationship, your ability to nurture the relationship. So particularly if things were difficult up to this point. We have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands clarifying the Knight of Cups. So this is about feeling a lot of overwhelm, right? This is overwhelm, burden, responsibilities, you know. Just feeling like you just can't continue in whatever it was that was going on anymore. Is you're realizing that a cycle needs to end in order for you to be really, really happy, and in order for you to open yourself up. Ace of Swords, beautiful. Yeah, this is nice. So we have this great energy. So it's just getting over past obstacles, getting what you want, thoughts becoming things, staying really focused. This is all about new beginnings and a change to your circumstances. And you being very mentally agile. And the reason I want to say that is because we had this Empress and this High Priestess energy both reversing your challenge, which would indicate blocks. Right? Blocked intuition. Here we have, you know, mental agility, which would indicate blocks are being lifted for you. So really nice. Anything else we need to know? Last card. 7 of Cups. Good. You're going to have some options, and you're going to have to figure out what's real, what's not real. You know, what do you really want? You know, if you're feeling a really nervous to have a commitment, why is that? If you feel like they're having, you know, they're nervous to have a commitment. But there's transformation here regardless. It really is. There's a lot of transformation here. So we have the 5 of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Wands. Good. So the 5 of Pentacles is really about, some of you just may be having a real testy resources, you know, could just be that. But some of you can be dealing with this fear of being with somebody, right? Because you're still nursing through the residue of a past pain from a past relationship. But I do see you allowing yourself this beautiful experience with the Ace of Wands. This is just great for all areas. Again, another new beginnings card, new chapter of passion. Beautiful. So it does look like somebody may be knocking on your door from the past, but it does look like an Ace of Wands energy. So no matter how we slice it, this is what I see though. I see either somebody coming back from the past. If you don't want to get back with them, sit that one out. But I do see somebody else coming in if you're open and want it. If you guys are returning to somebody from the past, it's going to be like a whole new beginning with that Ace of Wands energy. A whole new beginning. I don't feel like you guys, if you guys have been broken up and you're getting back with somebody, I don't feel like it's the sort of thing that you guys just broke up like a few days ago. This would be at least a few months ago kind of thing is what I'm seeing here. You need that room to breathe anyway, right? In order to have that ace, otherwise it's not an ace, right? All right, let's get into our complicated Pisces. So, you know, if you're complicated, it's you're together, you've been together for a long time, but maybe you're in a really weird space right now. You're just feeling very disconnected from each other. Or maybe you are on a break right now, kind of thing, but you definitely know you're not fully broken up. You know that complicated space I'm talking about. All right. Ace of Wands. Cups. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands here starting out the past. Okay, so it's coming into this energy really good. I mean, for new beginnings, some sort of new chapter. So maybe you guys were in this situation where you guys were cyclical. Either maybe you originally just first met and that's how you're resonating with it, or you guys been together a really long time and you sort of have this cyclical thing going on where you're together and then you break up for a bit and then maybe you get back together again. You know, could be any kind of energy like that. And then we have the Hangman Reverse. So then you were in the space of needing to reevaluate the expectations to see what you really wanted to do, or they were doing this within the relationship, and you know, what was a realistic possibility, right? The thing here is in this energy, either you or the person that you were dealing with is right. This is Neptune energy. There's always the need to be careful of rigid thinking or like martyrdom, right? You know, maybe you were dealing with this kind of energy showing up in someone you were in this relationship with right now, where there were false narratives presented, right? Or some kind of a lot of lip service, you know what I mean? Like almost like a fantasy kind of thing was presented, and you just weren't sure if you could believe it or not. You know, so the need here in the past, this tells me you needed to look things over with some kind of honesty to see if you were able to liberate yourself from the situation, you know, so that it can ultimately be ideally what you want. So maybe pulling back a little bit, pressing the pause button, getting a different perspective, you know what I mean? Like stepping back a little bit. So either you or them, but it just does seem like, okay, what in reality, like what's necessary to make this thing work? But it's through that analysis that some sort of light went on, and there was this realization that the way you guys were connecting with each other, it needed to stop, right? Something shocking, and there was this realization that there was a need to let go of past patterns of relating, and that whatever was going on up to that point was not able to continue. And then we have the Eight of Wands energy here, which is actually really good. So I feel like, oh, this is confusing because it's like there and then not there. So there might have been some sort of, you know, situation going on here, because this is really good news about love, especially if you guys were in a space where you were on a break. But what this is about, if you're feeling held back or stuck, right? Really good news for growth coming in. So very interesting. Now, some of you may have been in that space, right, where you weren't sure realistically if the relationship was going to be what it was that you were looking for, something coming to light, things falling apart, but then this information coming in. The first card up we have on the situation right now is the Eight of Cups, which is all about departure and change and emotional intelligence, knowing that something doesn't feel right. Realizing that it's time to move on. It's like that sadness but no regret energy I always talk about. Chances are you may have left the situation emotionally already, though. You know, this is really good time to work on yourself. So, you know, because, I mean, here you are with this Hangman Reverse trying to figure out if it's even the right thing. And then you coming to the conclusion, though, in one way or another that, oh, you know what? Something doesn't feel right here. As in we have the Queen of Cups, you know, again. This is a very intuitive energy, very intuitive, right? In astrology, this is Gemini and Cancer. But this is all about falling in love, deepening of love, emotional honesty about what's needed to make something work. So what I get here, though, it's like the Eight of Cups. Understand, with the Eight of Cups, it's Saturn and Pisces. It's Saturn and you. So something became so challenging in the relationship. There was so much toxicity that became evident. We got the Tower. The Tower typically does mean sort of like a breaking away. So for some of you, what this could be, though, is that something fell apart and then somebody reaches out to somebody here. The Eight of Cups, you're walking away from the toxicity, from the ability, like anything that was negative in the relationship, through some really beautiful conversation. And this is just how it can manifest for many of you. This idea of deepening and emotional honesty really is what we want to focus on here. And, you know, Gemini, communication, Cancer is the energy we look at about feeling very solid, grounded, rooted, safe, secure in something. What is it that you need to have that? And we have that being clarified by the Seven of Wands. So I feel like a lot of you are just in the space of just very much standing up for your relationship, you know, fighting for your love. It might be a bit challenging right now. And there's nothing wrong with that, provided that your partner would return the same loyalty kind of thing. So you may be in this space where, maybe your friends and family aren't very happy that maybe you're still giving somebody a chance, or they don't understand your experience within the relationship, or at least that may be how you feel, because you're in the space where you feel like you need to defend, right? This does indicate obstacles, right? But you do have the resilience to overcome whatever challenge you're dealing with. Morality, your personal philosophy is kind of a big deal for you right now. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles is the closing energy here. So the Knight of Pentacles is all about using your time wisely. You have to be very consistent, which of course you're being consistent with the Seven of Wands. It's like you're really trying so hard to make something work. Really trying very hard. This is about like increasing connection, really trying hard to whatever is necessary to make this relationship more stable and secure. You are there trying to work at it. It does seem like that. But the challenge here, we have starting with the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, this could indicate a breakup, of course. Some of you may have been in that off space. You may be there where there's some kind of dependence, right? But the Page of Cups does, indicate, love, right? It really is. It's a very emotional energy. It's a new cycle in love. The page always means a new cycle. But there is also this, I would say danger, because it sounds very dramatic, but kind of a danger in getting just very swept up in the idea of something. And this could be a challenge for you right now, where you feel just very swept up by the emotions of something, right? And we have the Ace of Swords as a challenge. And the Ace of Swords is, again, all about clear thinking. New beginning, clear thinking, seeing things with laser focus. So you may not be able to see things 100% clearly right now. And having that work with the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a very volatile energy. Not necessarily volatile as in violence, but volatile in like emotional gymnastics can go on here, right? Very unpredictable, kind of up and down, roller coaster kind of energy, right? As they say, where some sort of sudden truth comes out, underlying conflicts come out, whatever it is. It's kind of all over the place, or at least it feels like that. So this could be somebody who has a really hard time committing to something, where they get bored really easily and then they create drama and they don't take any responsibility. So you may be dealing with an energy like that. It's like you don't want to give up. But this person may be like that. You just may need to figure out what is at the core of that. But guys, then to have the Star as a block as well, you're just not sure if you're meant to be in this relationship. You may have felt it at one time, but right now you're not so sure. Some of you can be kind of depressed right now. This could also indicate you dealing with a certain level of arrogance, maybe even being sort of ignored within a relationship. The idea of like any kind of sexual dysfunction can also show up with this energy in the challenge position as well. So that could be the challenge, I suppose if you're in that phase of your life where you're trying to maybe have a child, or in the same way, challenge growing, right, with that person as well. So there can be this idea where you're just not sure, if this is actually the right thing, but yet you're in it. You're still in it, like energetically, you are. So as a final outcome card, the first one up we have is the Strength energy. And this does indicate like if your relationship's been tested, things improving, but there's a need for balance in order for that to happen. So it does seem like somebody needs their ego stroked a little bit. It's like somebody with very strong opinions or a strong mindset needs to like calm their ego so that their mind can open up a little bit, so that the issues can be addressed in the relationship in a really good way. But that balance needs to be had. There's definitely attraction here. There's no question about that. That's not the problem. But it seems like The idea of being like rather closed-minded might be a situation right now. And then working with that, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, which is about selfishness and like being too one-sided in the relationship being an issue. So that definitely speaks to the idea of balance. You know, it's like you have their back, they may not have yours, or, you know, them saying the same thing about you, whatever it is, right? And then we have this Four of Pentacles is about being very protective of yourself, just really protective. Focus on security, self-protection. You really want to work on yourself. This is a self-improvement energy. You know, yeah, you want to be secure. And you're holding everything close to you in order to make sure that that could happen. Because you're very aware that people can come in very easily and try to take these things away from you, whether they mean it or not. And then we have the Seven of Swords energy. Ooh, to have this, clarifying the Four of Pentacles, somebody may literally be trying to use you for your money, Pisces, okay? For those of you in that space, where they're after you for your money. I hate to say it, but to have the Seven of Swords, which is about theft, and the Four of Pentacles, which is about holding your money tight, you may be very intuitive, recognizing like, hey, maybe they want to be with me because of what I have, right? So for some of you, you're going to resonate with it like that. But it also means dishonesty and a certain level of immorality and running away from responsibility and overstepping boundaries, just being really selfish, right? So if you find yourself with this kind of energy, or at least vibing, you really need your instincts and your wits about you to figure out the real truth of the situation. You might even need to play them at their own game to figure out what you need to know about the situation. So you better watch out if somebody's not trying to take your stuff. Look at that. You know, what do I always say? This is what happens. Pisces, you're so... Again, I'm not saying this because I'm doing your sign right now. You guys are so giving and you're so open and you want to help and you're so feeling. You're like an exposed nerve. You know what I mean? So beautiful that when certain energies have less than moral intentions, they just comfortably walk around their existence like that. You're like literally bait for them. I was going to say fish food, but then that would have been a very cheesy pun because you guys are the fish. Ugh. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Release, release, release. Woo! That's what the South Node is. Okay, let's pull one more. South Node. Past karma. Let it go. Let it go. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Beautiful. Whatever work you're doing on yourself, keep at it. It's working. Beautiful. Beautiful. New moon in Capricorn is all about let's do the work. That's ruled by Saturn. It's like not running away from the responsibility of life, doing some really solid, beautiful work on yourself. I like it. So let's pull get some psychology behind what's going on here with this. Pisces, I just don't know if this person, and I know cross-watchers are not going to like that I'm saying this, I don't know if this person that you're in this complicated situation is like worthy of you. I hate to say it, but all right, hand of cards. Take a chance, risk, being strategic options. When I see that, I see you trying to be very supportive of the connection. You're taking a chance. Doesn't mean you know the answers. You don't know the answers just yet. And with this, I say, I can't be with you. I see too much of myself in you, and I don't like myself. And we have not enough. Frustrated in relationship. Lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, jealousy. It doesn't have to be all of those. It could just be one. You could just be frustrated in the relationship. Or there could be some fear, ego issues at play here. Or a lack of confidence, right? Please stop trying to control everything. It's stifling me, and I don't want to feel this way. Sword in the Rose. Clarity, truth, revelation. Eyes wide open. I know I didn't handle things the right way, but I don't know how to fix it. Oh, somebody having a realization. And then we have the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, growth. You make me feel a kind of anxiety I have never known, yet desired in a way I have never known. So healing that inner child, dealing with the anxiety of a situation, this is the thing. The butterfly can mean evolution and then flying away, or evolution and transforming. It's going to really be totally up to you and what it is that you end up deciding to do. The cards, astrology, nobody can take into account your human choice, right? I can only tell you the weather or the situation. Consider your foundation and look at how committed you really are to love. May have to do that too. Everybody's got to do that. Forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Yeah. This is not about forgiving and forgetting. It's forgiving to release so that you can just be lighter in your experience. Forgiving doesn't mean getting back with somebody. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It really is about recognizing the toothpaste is out of the tube. It's done. Past is done. Kids, there's nothing you can do about it. Focus on good. Focus on love. Look for the good in everyone. Yeah. And that includes loving yourself. So that is what I have for you, my friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.